What's going on, guys? Hey, it's Jason with Our Missouri Yard. Welcome to our channel. So it's been, I don't know, I think we're into like our 12th video, I think, here on the YouTube. So it's we're making some progress. The videos are getting better. There's some of the first ones are pretty rough, pretty ugly looking. I'm not a professional videographer, so my camera angles aren't always good. I'm not a professional writer by any means or anything like that, so my content's not great, but I'm showing you what we have and kind of give you the concept of what we're doing here for these videos. Is, as I've mentioned in just about every video that we have, on June 30th our yard is going to be featured on the garden tour here locally. So we're doing everything we can to make sure our 10,000 square foot of grass and our 13 flower beds are looking great for that weekend. So we're gonna have, I think they said, around 400 people probably come through. So we want it to look great for them, and we got to live up to the expectation of being on the garden tour for the garden club. So that's what we're doing. If you followed the videos before, you know that Heather takes care of the flowers, I take care of the lawn, and this is Our Missouri Yard. So what I'm going to do today is give you an update, give you a quick look at how the grass is coming along, because I'm pretty proud of it. It's looking good. It's really deep dark green. It's looking really good. It's mowing too fast, or I'm sorry, it's growing faster than what Heather would like, because I'm having to mow so often. I'm mowing 2-3 times a week right now, and I'm getting ready to mow again today. So today I'm going to trim, get the trimmer out. To be honest with you, I haven't trimmed all year, and the reason is last fall, the last time I used the trimmer, I forgot to get all the gas out of it. So I had to, you can't use the gas on a 2-cycle motor like that. You can't use the grass or use the gas from season to season. It's really only good for about 30 days. And so I had to find a place to go get that, dispose of the gas that was in the gas can. And then now I have all that and I'm ready to trim. And then my edger is is an attachment on the trimmer, so I haven't been able to edge on the yard either, along the curbs and sidewalks and that kind of thing. So I'm gonna get that done today and mow, and then I plan on putting down an application of the Greene County fertilizer from the n-ext product line, the GreenePunch. It's their fertilizer. It's an 1801 fertilizer, and it's going to give a good nitrogen pop. And let's see, so to give you a quick history of where we're at on a timeline, it was about 6 weeks ago that I first did the seeding, and the grass seeding, the overseeding, and seeding of the two new areas, and they're looking really good, by the way. I can't wait to show it to you. And then when I did that, I put down the biostimulant pack from Greene County Fertilizer, which included the RGS, the Aerate, Humic 12, and the Microgreen, which is the micronutrients fertilizer. And I also put down the Green Star, which is kind of like their starter fertilizer. And then I think it was about 4 weeks ago, yeah, it was 4 weeks ago, I put down an application of Mowing, which is a granular organic fertilizer. It's a slow release fertilizer. Put that down 4 weeks ago. And then 3 weeks ago is when I did the RGS, the root growth stimulator again, and the Aerate. So I did that again. So what I hope to do now is get to trim, mow, edge, and then blow everything back and blow it, clean up the yard, the sidewalks, roads, that kind of thing, and then get the GreenePunch put down as an application on that. And I guess just to save you some time in this video, I'm not going to go into detail really what GreenePunch is. I'll put a link to it. I think it's up here. I think is where it goes. I'm new to this YouTube, so I think that's where it is. Link to the n-ext DIY YouTube channel, the video that they did on that Paul Castleberry did on the GreenePunch. So he has all kinds of information. He's a great guy. I've talked to him. I actually talked to him on the phone or emailed him many times. He's been a great help. So here it is. Let's go through the yard. I'll show you the grass, and then if Heather's feeling up to it later today, I'll have her go through the garden beds, because she's had her friends from the garden club come out and help plant all these flowers. I think just about everything is planted. We might have a few things here and there left to go. We have edging to do yet around the flower beds. We're going to wait a little bit to do mulch, simply because, like in our big flower beds in the back patio, there's a huge maple tree in the neighbor's yard, and they drop those little helicopter things, so we definitely want to make sure those are down before we mulch, so we don't have to go around picking all those up. And you got some edging to do around some other flower beds, just to make it clean up, look it real nice, and then get mulch down, that kind of thing. So my first task is I'm going to show you the grass. It's really come along. If you remember in the very first videos, there was a lot of brown. I think it was late February, early March. when we did that. It was a lot of brown, but it's looking great now. I still got a few holes in it here and there. It's not perfect. I'm not real satisfied with it, but I'm pretty happy with it. So it's super dark. And then it's darker than the neighbors. That's what I'm really concerned about, I guess. And then, so I'll show you just general of the yard. I'll show you the 2 areas I planted the new grass seed because they're looking great. And then I'll get started on the trimming. All right, here we go. So here we are in the front in the shaded area. Now, if you remember from the earlier videos, this area was pretty much full sun because it didn't have any leaves on the tree. But I was telling you, our poplar tree, it's just huge. It creates a lot of shade, and just the leaves are huge on it. I'll see if I can get one down here and show it to you. Okay, here's one of the leaves. They're not fully grown yet because they're still growing. It's still early spring. But to give you an idea, there's my hand. So it is, you know, it's bigger than the palm of my hand. Get on there. So it's just a big leaf. And like I said, it's not fully grown yet. They get even bigger than that. I mean, some of them will get really huge. So that creates a huge canopy. So our whole area, it's like I said, it's our shaded area, our shaded garden. We got some real blooms coming out. That pipe there, I gotta cut that down, but that's for a future project. I'll show you later on. I think we're working on that in 2 weeks. Now come over here to our front yard. And if you remember, this area here had a lot of brown patches, a lot of brown patches. So I'm super happy with the way this is coming in. And in a very first video, this right here was a rock path that we pulled back up. And we actually cheated a little bit. We put in some topsoil down and then to fill it in, and then got a couple rolls of sod to put in there to really get that going. But well, I still have a few brown patches there. I'm not sure it's going to come back. But over in here where it was really bad, it's just looking really good. Heather's been working on that flower bed down there again. The dogwood tree is starting to lose its flowers. Got a bunch of petals down in the grass. We'll come down here to the side of the road to the newly seeded area, and look at that. That is looking gorgeous. Yeah, simply gorgeous. So right here was the existing grass. Hey, Charlie. Got Charlie and Lexi. So that was the existing hump. The grass wasn't hump, and this is all new grass, and that's all new grass there, but it's looking great. Coming in great. And then we had the big spot here where we had a tree come in. I mean, you can see here where the new grass, it's lighter green. That's just because it's new growth. That filled in real nicely. And over here on the side of the driveway, this is the area that was in really bad shape. And what I should have done is just completely nuked it all, you know, get the Roundup out and killed everything off, wait for it to come back, and then nuked it again just to make sure I got everything done. But I didn't have time to do that, so I just brought in the topsoil and went over top of it. So you can see I had, like, this was the old growth and that's new growth. And while I sprayed the tenacity down as the pre-emergent when I seeded this area, still got an issue with wild violet all over the place. Unfortunately, it's about too late to do anything with it now. I still have it look somewhat decent for the garden tour, so I'm just going to leave it green and address it in the fall. But that's turned out really well. I still got the one little washout area right in there. You can kind of see where it is. I don't know if I'm really going to be able to do anything with that. Hopefully the grass will just kind of fill in over top of it, get long and go over it. So, and as you can see, I really need to get the trimmer out. It's in bad shape. But you can see, I telling you about the helicopter things, you know, I got them all over the place. So we're just gonna wait until they fall off of that big maple tree there, and then we'll put down the mulch over here on the big side. Hey, look at that, there's our camper. I brought it home, I think it was Friday, and popped it up. We're excited to use that this summer. Hopefully we'll have time to do it. All right, let me get my trimmer and get that started. Just as a reminder, guys, when you use a weed trimmer, especially when you're a gas-powered one like I am, it's a little more powerful than electric or the battery-powered ones, always wear eye protection. I've heard too many stories of people that have kicked up a rock, or just part of the string gets broken off and other debris or whatnot hits up and gets in someone's eye. I know one guy that got some eye damage because of it, so always wear eye protection. When weed trimming, I also like to wear jeans, and I'll show you one other trick. So I always wear jeans. I didn't always, but one time I wearing shorts in the middle of hot summer. I was weed trimming and I got hit with a rock across my shin. Holy moly, it hurt and it caused me to bleed. And then, like the same weekend, another friend of mine, I was talking to him, it was actually later after the story happened, but he got a little careless with his gas trimmer and he actually strung the string across his leg and just cut her wide open. So my trick, you know, as everyone knows, we got a pretty hilly yard, so I wear cleats. I'm going to be mowing today, so I always just went ahead and put my cleats on. And so you'll see that. And a couple tricks with cleats. Soccer cleats are not recommended. The main reason is they don't have the cleat on the toe. Soccer cleats do not have a cleat on the toe, and they're generally rounded. Whereas these are baseball cleats, which I have found to be the best, my favorite kind. And they're got the straight edges, and they just grab a little better, so I don't slip. No concern about slipping in the grass and lawnmower hurting me or anything like that. So look at that green grass. I just love it. Before I get started, I got to show you this. I don't know if you can still tell about right in here. You got a different color. Well, I came out one afternoon, came home from work actually one evening, and I looked out and I had these spots in my yard. I couldn't figure out what it was. I thought I had some weird fungus growing or something like that. Yeah, it turns out Heather was spray painting. And if you remember from maybe it was last week's video, where we're going to put the thing here, the big trellis thing here for this climbing plant. I can't remember what it is. This is where she spray painted it. So you can see how long and tall it is. That's where she spray painted it gray. Freaked me out for a minute though. All right, let's go trimming. Trimming's done. So next step is to go on to mowing. So one thing I did forget to mention, although I did mention eye protection and wearing the jeans, make sure you had full shoes on. I forgot to mention the ear protection, especially when you're using a gas-powered trimmer. Definitely want to put that in. So normally I would go probably, I shouldn't say normally, ideally I should say that. And now that after I've trimmed along everything, I go with the blower, blow everything in, and then mow it, blow off the driveway and the road and that kind of thing. But I'm not going to do that today. I just don't have time. I got my list of things to do, and then I got the list of Heather's to-do list of things for me to do. So got a lot to do today. So I'm going to get ready to get mowing. Sure, I'll share some of that video for you. So I just mowed the backyard. I sometimes refer to it as a football field because it's just a big rectangle. But and I know you've seen me mow this section of the yard before, but what I wanted to show you is that I'm going at a different angle this time than I did in the previous video. And actually, every time I mow, I go in a different direction. Sometimes I go at one angle, sometimes I go the other angle, sometimes I go left to right or back and forth, and the other times I go up and down. The reason I do that is that strengthens the grass so it isn't laying down in one direction every single time. Now you don't get as cool stripes out of it that way, but your grass is stronger that way. You also notice I did a frame around it, went around the outside twice to frame the grass. That's just so you have an area to turn around and still look cool, look good. So I'm going to mow the rest of the yard, then I'm going to get the edger out. Okay, mowing is done. I've started on the edging. So I did it there along the driveway. There's my edger there. My weed trimmer has an attachment. You can see where right there you can unhook it and hook up the edger on it. The edger is a metal blade. I got it set way too low, so I got to get that fixed. What it does, it's going to clean up this edge here. So I'm going to walk up this edge a little ways. So you can see what it looks like before I do the edging. It just goes up. I'm going to stop and say hi to Heather. Guess she's getting ready to put down mulch.
You're getting ready to go.
I mean, I guess I'm getting ready to put down some mulch. Alright, so I definitely need more practice with the edger. And that one looks halfway decent, but up here, line got a little wavy on me, and because I had the edger set too deep, I had to adjust to that and didn't do a great job, but it definitely looks better. Each time I do it, it'll look better and better. Okay guys, this is the 1801 GreenePunch I was telling you about. It's liquid fertilizer, 18% nitrogen, and then 1%, I think that's potassium, or sorry, potash. My bad. It also has some sulfur in it and some iron. This is what's going to give it a nice punch of green, okay? And it's also going to add the nitrogen to it to help drive the roots down. That's what I'm trying to do this spring, is drive roots, drive roots, drive roots. So all my grass can have, especially the new grass, can have a real good fighter's chance at surviving through the summer without, spending $1,000 in irrigation. So I've already sprayed the first 2,000 square feet, and then what I did is, because I had to change the sprayer multiple times, I went and got one of these things. So I can leave the water turned on the whole time and just use the valve to turn it on and off at the hose end. Sometimes I think I'm just a gosh darn genius, because this thing is going to be a major time saver for me today. Alright, let me get to it. So I got to get back to this thing. I sprayed another 1,000 square feet, and I got to thinking, well, last thing I said was I'm a gosh darn genius, and then you're probably going to say, well, you're an idiot because you just unscrewed the reservoir. Well, really, I've done that on the other ones, and for some reason I have the hardest time screwing the reservoir back into the handle, into the sprayer part. But I can get the sprayer part, the red part, screwed onto the reservoir, no problem. So I don't know what the deal is, why I can't. Maybe I'm just not holding my tongue in the right direction. You know how you gotta stick your tongue out to concentrate? Maybe I'm just not holding my tongue in the right direction. I don't know, but I can't do it. So I got that valve thing to put on the hose, and now I can just do this real simple. It's just easy peasy. All right, I gotta go find another area to spray. So this is where having a map like this comes in real handy. So I was able to do the first 2,000 square feet here and over, and then I did the next 1,000 square feet here. So what I'm going to do for the next 2,000 square feet is I'm going to take this 1280 space and this 804 space, or 803, that's just over 2,000 square feet. So I'm going to spread it over that area there. And then the next thing, how am I going to do it? The next thing, well, I got to figure out. So I got 1,300 here, and I got roughly 1,500 here. So that's 3,000 square feet, not 2,000. This section here and this up here, that'll be roughly 2,000 square feet. Never did tell you how how I'm mixing it. So let me put the lid back, get the lid back off. So basically what I'm doing is 16 ounces per 1,000 square feet. So I don't know if you can see it, but right there is the 32 ounce mark. So I'm gonna dump this, wow, that's hard to see. Dump this black gold. There. So my goal is to get an application rate of 16 ounces per 1,000 square feet. Now the application rate says, let's see, I apply it at a rate of 12 to 18 ounces per 1,000 square feet. So I want to do 2,000 square feet at a time. So I'm just going at 16 ounces. Since this thing only holds 32 ounces. All right, now on to the next section. Oh yeah, part of the next part, I'm even more ingeniouser. I put the quick connect on there, so I didn't even have to screw it on and off. Sometimes I just amaze myself. Alright, I gotta show you this. So I mowed just a few hours ago, right? Look at all these dang helicopters. Isn't that crazy? They're all over the place. Okay guys, so my battery's about ready to die, so I gotta get this done quick. I've got everything sprayed with the GreenePunch. Looking forward to seeing the results from that. So today I trimmed, mowed, edged, and then sprayed the GreenePunch. I did some other things too, but that's what I got on camera. And got to do some other things for Heather around here yet too. Got to do some mulching and whatnot. She got a lot of flower beds, and she's questioning whether she likes all that mulch we got back there. You know, those 50 bags of mulch. She's not sure if she really likes the color. I think she said she hated it. So I'm not sure what we're gonna do with all that. But who knew that 74 degrees all day long was going to be so stinking hot? I guess that's what happens when you have a really cold spring. So thanks for joining me. For you flower people, I'm sorry I didn't get anything in about the flowers this time. So hopefully we'll get a good flower video for next time. But I thank you for joining us. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video of course, and hit the bell notification so you're notified of every time we upload a video. And thanks again for visiting our Missouri yard.